Okay, now I'm back in my driveway. So I was up the mountain going for a hike up from where I live in Scottsdale, and the reception was pretty poor. So my team told me, they're like, your live like kept breaking up. So we pulled it down. But I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I had a few things to share. So hello again. If you joined me earlier, and if you didn't, then you'll get to hear what I wanted to share. But I wanted to share actually a really profound decision I made while I was in Florida. And I was there for the trust meeting, as many of you know. So this was our official spring meeting. We had the majority of our members attend, which was amazing. A few people have been asking me, by the way, what Florida is like to travel in. And it's like, we're going to vacation like it's 2019. It was awesome. Most counties are still taking some precautions. So, but people, what I liked seeing is there was like a lot of common sense. Like if you're inside crowded, then yeah, put it on. And then, but outside, at the beach with your kids, like, life goes on. So it was, if you're looking for somewhere to vacation or travel right now that feels very normal-ish, right? It's good. And there were some great deals going on, man. So I think this week, all the prices jumped. We actually looked to extend our stay, and pretty much anywhere we wanted to stay was booked. So we saw that as a sign to come home and do endless laundry. And and I love, do you ever do this on vacation? I get off the plane, I'm here in Phoenix, and I'm still wearing like my seashell necklace, and then I'm like, this doesn't, you got to like get back in wherever you live. So Florida was great. We had a fantastic meeting, and I really left knowing that the trust is becoming something even different than I intended. And the reason is, like, a lot of people are asking me, like, what is it about the revenue levels of these women? I know there's a revenue minimum. Yes, but that's not, it's not about the money in the end, right? The money's the game. It's like the gamification of it. It's the scorecard of it. And women, we need to generate a lot more wealth to affect some change in the world right now. We really, really do. But what is so important is that the conversations shift to a different level. And those of you who have been growing your business are aware of this, that you've been, each level you ascend in your business, it leads to different challenges, different opportunities, different platforms of power. And once you get to a point that you've worked through a lot of these issues, that's when the game begins, really, in here. Like it's this magical place, and it's still hard for me to articulate what this is becoming. There's such a soul-based group for women who are so incredibly successful. And I've found either out there's a lot of great women's groups, but some of them are very either kind of dry at the higher levels. A lot of good information. You meet some nice people. But I didn't really get a deep fulfillment, right, from those meetings or connections, minus a select few. And on the flip side, I found a lot of beginner women's groups that are ones that attract a lot of beginners. It's a lot of the you go girl and inspiration, and that's all great. And then you need the brass tacks. You need to know what to do in the strategies. So this group is just the conversations we had behind closed doors with no recording are not the kind of conversations you would have online, even on Zoom. Really open and really deep with each other. And then I went right from that to a vacation with my kids, which I don't recommend, by the way, because I needed a transition, but it's just how the timing worked. But this trip, and it transformed me, and I know it transformed a lot of the women in the room. They said, I haven't traveled like this in so long. I forgot how travel resets your perspective. It elevates the level that you're thinking at. And you literally, like when you're in the air, you're at a bird's eye view of everything. I always get such clarity when I'm on a plane ride. And I was talking with Brett over the break, and we were kind of tag teaming the kids a bit. We had some help in Miami, and then we went on our own to the Keys and had a great time. And I said, God, I need more of this. Life had become, over the past year, so routine. I don't know if some of you relate to that. Like your life was just the same thing every day. It's another Zoom call. It's another this. It's another that. And we did our best, right, to break it up and do some car trips. But I realized how powerful I needed that space and perspective. And so I'm going to make a big change in my schedule. And this was a hard one to make. but I am going to be publishing my podcast every 2 weeks instead of every week. When I looked at what and where, I could carve out some space for what is being birthed in me, that next level, that was the most obvious. And that was a hard decision. Many of you have been through something like this. There's something that's going well. People expect it a certain way. I know for a year or two, I'm like, we are publishing every week, come hell or high water, minus the holidays. And, no matter what happens, we get to show up. And there's a time for that, right? When you want to generate the momentum and you're in that like ramp up and you want to make the lists and go for the rankings and get the attention. And right now, my goal is to keep a fantastic show going with premier guests and really great conversations, but something new is emerging too, and I need to make space for that. So and by the way, this is so important right now as we're going through the 5D ascension, and we're evolving as humans right now. And so make space for what's coming through in you, and whether that could be just a walk in the park every day, or like I am, like really looking at my schedule and getting almost just ruthless with how I am carving out time to receive. You cannot receive when you're busy all the time. You cannot be in your feminine when you're busy all the time. You cannot tap into this power that we have extreme access to right now if you allow yourself. So if you're spinning your wheels right now and there's a lot going on, the best thing you could do right now is carve out that space. And I feel so excited about that decision, a little nervous about it, but excited about it. So if you noticed, we didn't have a show last week. We didn't have a show last week, and I didn't announce it, and I was like jumping in the water with manatees. So this week we will. And from then on, we're going to be every 2 weeks. And then I'm excited to announce probably something new by April that's kind of coming through in this space. So think about for yourself, what can you change or let go of or stop doing that isn't serving the leader you're becoming? I'm going to leave you with that. And I'll check in again later. Okay. We'll post this after the live. Okay. Bye.